After more than 30 years in the recreation business, Pete Haislip will officially retire in May of 2012. During his 18 years plus as Parks, Recreation, and Tourism Director for Roanoke County, the Radford University graduate oversaw an expansion that included 31 new playing fields, numerous playgrounds and picnic shelters, walking trails, and the beginning of the county's contribution to the Greenway system. Camp Roanoke, the Brambleton Center, and the crown jewel perhaps of his career, the $30 million plus Green Ridge Recreation Center, all opened on his watch. Haislip, who worked in Danville and Prince William County before coming to Roanoke County in 1993, is quick to point out that he had plenty of support from the Board of Supervisors, county staffers, and community recreation clubs. A big man physically, Pete Haislip will leave behind a large impact on recreation facilities in the Valley. Pete Haislip, welcome to the interview.
Thanks for having me.
You announced your retirement almost a year ahead of time. Why so much lead time on your last hurrah?
Well, we had lost our assistant director, Marcus Ordonez, and I went to the county administrator and said, look, I'm planning on retiring, this beginning of the year. I said, it doesn't make any sense to go out and hire an assistant director and then turn around and hire a director. Let's hire my replacement, sure, and let them select their own people to come in and manage.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense.
Yeah.
How's the new guy going to do? Doug Blunt?
Doug Blunt, great. He's hit the ground running. He's been here since August 8th, and so he's two and a half months into it, and real good, real strong business-like manager. Knows Parks and Rec programs, knows Parks and Rec operations. I think he is the right person for this time and where we're at as an organization.
And ironically, you both worked in Prince William County.
Correct. We had similar positions when we were there, and obviously Prince William County certainly taught him a lot, taught me a lot, and kind of an interesting coincidence for sure.
What do you think attracted Doug, and what attracts people, Pete, do you think, to Roanoke County when they look at the amenities that are here now, parks and recreation-wise? What is it that you think is an attraction to people?
Well, first, I think it's been reported, Doug is a native of the Roanoke Valley. His grandparents are here, his parents are here, grandparents are here, and so he has a strong connection and tie to the Valley, number one. But, and I'll just go back to my experience. I went to Radford University, graduated in a Parks and Rec degree, and I just, like most people, once you come to this area, you tend to like it. It's the cliches you hear. It's a great place to raise a family. It's quality time, blah blah. But they're true here. Having grown up in Northern Virginia, I grew up Fairfax, Annandale, and I can tell you the difference in the quality of life. When you get home at night, you have time to interact with your kids and play. There's no hour and a half commute. Right. You don't have to wake them up early in the morning to run them to daycare if you're two working families, both people working.
It'll take years off your life.
Oh yeah, it's so it really does allow quality time.
Pete, where does Roanoke County stand now, in regards to the number of parks and athletic fields per the number of residents? I know there's an ideal ratio. Right. That was one of the things I know you wanted to work on when you got here. Is it a lot closer to where it needs to be?
Yes, I would say Roanoke County is in pretty good shape. There's a couple areas here and there where we could maybe put a soccer field and all that, but we're very strong now in our athletic facilities and fields, and I think that's probably one of the things that you're right that I was brought here to do 18 years ago, was to bring not only our athletic facilities but our parks, up to a higher level, and I think with the team that we were able to put together and the support of the community and the board. I think we've done a pretty good job.
How important was public input, Pete? I know that several years ago you put together citizens groups. I was actually in on one of them, asking for input from people. Right. How important was that to guiding where Roanoke County is going now, Parks and Rec-wise, and what did you learn from that whole experience?
Well, I can tell you the three priorities that came out, and it was a fascinating experience for me. One, to get your stakeholders together, to hear, and we heard from just about every group. We made sure but every group has their own interest. And I think what made it really valid for Roanoke County and really gave us the direction that we needed to go in was the survey. We took that information from the stakeholders groups. We did a survey, a citizen survey, to validate. That took to get, how did the whole county, how did the general citizenry, how did they rate the parks and what was most important, what programs they wanted. And what came out of that was, one, it was indoor recreation space, passive recreation land, greenways and trails. And so for us, that charted the course for us. But that's because what that survey also proved, and that process proved, that we had made the investment in our athletic facilities and our parks. That was the concentration.
Sports, that type of thing.
Right. And that was the challenge that was handed to my department when I came here. And if you go back and look at the survey, that people indicated, yeah, we feel fairly comfortable with our athletic facilities and those types of amenities. What we're looking at now is the greenways and trails, the indoor recreation space, and passive land for passive recreation uses.
Where you don't have to be putting on a uniform to go do it. Right.
We heard that loud and clear. Heard that loud and clear. The community, we want a place where we can just go play. Can I go throw a frisbee, and walk my dog and things like that. So it was a very good experience.
Before we get to Greenwich, I want to talk about the greenways. How's that effort going? I know funding is always an issue. We want to tie it all together.
Well, we're really at Roanoke County right now. That's our focus and probably our #1 priority right now. We have $3.5 million right now for the western portion of the Roanoke River Greenway from Green Hill Park to the city of Salem line. And we're in the process now of awarding a contract. We have no trail. We don't know where the location is. We're hiring a firm now to go out and find us what's the best location, most cost-effective location to put that trail.
Okay. Then you're going to pick it up from 13th Street to Vinton?
And we've put together enough funding over the last 3 years through our T21 grants that are coming through the state and from the federal government. We now have an RFP that's going out to begin the conceptual planning and route choosing for the eastern part. And I will tell you, and it's important to emphasize, we don't have a route yet. And before, we're going to meet with the community on both ends. We've already met with some with the western end near Green Hill Park. We're going to be meeting with folks on eastern. And so.
But it'll get done.
Oh, something's going to happen for sure. I think I think a lot of people, if you had asked them 5 or 6 years ago where would they be the Roanoke River Greenway, I can say in 3 to 5 years you'll probably have 15 to 17 mile connection, which I think is something to be proud of.
I have to talk about the crown jewel, the Green Ridge Recreation Center. This is a $30 million plus project.
Right.
You were a big advocate for.
Right.
Not everybody on the Board of Supervisors is crazy about it.
Right.
But do you feel vindicated, Pete, the fact that it's, membership is thriving and it seems to be at least meeting the operating budget?
Not vindicated is not probably the word. Because I was confident all along. I know the value of recreation. When you talk about creating a livable community, public safety is important, education, but if you don't have quality parks and recreation, and Green Ridge is kind of that crown jewel, I don't think you're missing something. And I think we talk about what attracts our young professionals. Well, what health and fitness now is such a popular thing. It was, to me, it was a no-brainer, and I never ever questioned. I was always confident that it would be successful. We did the survey, and if you go back and look at the survey about the indoor recreation space, the types of programs that our citizens said that they needed and wanted, and you look at what's offered at Green Ridge, it's a perfect example of a plan being put in place, or doing the survey, doing your homework, following our design, followed what our citizens wanted with our programs and amenities, and it works. And it's not rocket science. It's just good planning, working with good people, and I would tell you that the staff of the Parks and Recreation Department, best in the state. I mean, I think they've proven it with the awards they've won. I think the community, here in Roanoke County are passionate about their parks and recreation, their youth sports. So, you know, the timing for me, when I came here, they were ready to roll. They were ready for that next level. And that was very fortunate for me, because that makes it easy. When you got the community to support and they're saying, we want it, it's been great.
Talk about being honored with the Distinguished Service Award by the Virginia Park and Recreation Society recently, nominated by your own staff. Kind of a nice going away, President?
Oh, it's wonderful, wonderful. You know, it's always nice to be recognized, you know, by your peers, nominated by my staff. But, you know, it certainly was an honor. But you know what, that award really was for I feel like for my staff and our department and Roanoke County, because, you know, without the support of my staff, without the support of Roanoke County, you know, I wouldn't have been there to get that award. So, you know, it's really, you know, we've created in Roanoke County a wonderful place to live, work, and play. And I'm just, you know, really thankful that I was able to play a part in that. I mean, it was truly an honor for me. I've enjoyed every minute of it.
What's next for Pete Haislip? You going to go hike Mount Kilimanjaro, or?
I do fish, I do hunt, and we will travel. I do have a daughter that I have 3 kids, but one is still in high school. We need to get her out of high school, and then we'll start making our serious plans. But yeah, we're going to do some traveling, and you know, I'm still looking around at a few options, and you know, may work. I don't want to work full time. But I still think I have something to offer, and certainly would willing to continue to give to the community.
All right, Pete Haislip, Roanoke County Parks, Recreation, Tourism Director. Good luck on retirement.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
This is The Interview. I'm Marrano. We'll be right back.